Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, Gary here for Bizarre Brain Comics. And this time I'm going to take a look at some more of the Archie digest-sized comics that I've got. This one here is, of course, the new Archies. This is from 1988. I have another one somewhere. It's in rough shape, though. This is the new Archies was published in conjunction with a late 80s animated Archie TV show. And one of the interesting and different things about this was that Archie and the gang weren't the 16, 17, 18-year-old teenagers that we're used to, nor were they little kids like in the Little Archie stories, but they're about 12 or 13, in that range, junior high or middle school. When I was a kid, it was junior high, and now it's middle school age kids. And they ride their bikes around and no driving cars and stuff. And otherwise, the stories are very, very similar. But they're just early, just starting in puberty at this age. Still have, but their styles are very, very 80s. Same kind of, mostly the same kind of writing, same artists and the like. Some simple fun stuff. Trying to go on dates and do other goofy things that kids do. Archie's still trying to make time with Veronica. Betty's still trying to make time with Archie. It's got some stories about their, with their pets there. And Archie has starts off though with one of the slightly more adventurous storylines, and it's a bit longer. The Bermuda Rectangle Angle, and they get lost on an island with dinosaurs and has a little King Kong parody when it turns out that they're all they're mechanical, and I think they were making a movie there. So Jughead with Archie Comics Magazine. Poor guys, you would think someone would have warned them by now. They're out of business because Jughead ate them out of business. More of the same. Typical Archie stuff. A little bit of adventure. They're scuba diving. Different kinds of stories. And your typical Archie stories. And this Jughead Jones. So it's primarily Jughead stories. This is back to the early 80s. So it's primarily printing stuff from the 70s and 60s. Like some of the art. Some of the art on here. And here, I guess we have, it's a Man from Riverdale story. They're spy type, humorous spy type stories. And regular old Archie. There's little Archie. There's a little Jughead. He's a card. It's something with computers. More of the same thing. Archie Annual Digest. This is from 77, so it's a few years older. Raft of Fun. Archie with the girls. on a raft somewhere. Focus. So this looks like, I'm going to say the 60s, maybe early 70s stuff. Again, some nice artwork. Archie and Jughead. Little Archie, and this is neat. This one is neat here, because I've said before, Little Archie was often more adventurous stories, and also, as I said, Little Archie was more competent than grown up Archie. And here he is, some kind of, down by the river, and some kind of monster is coming out. It's a great big turtle. But one thing is particularly interesting is the realistic way in which the turtle is drawn. So it kind of makes it look a little bit like a monster comic. This gigantic monster turtle. Then we find out, where is it? The turtle. It's something written on it, and it was something from, what was it, World's Fair, I think, something in 1893. So this is probably back in the 60s. And it's at this old lady's house. And apparently the turtle, she and someone had released this turtle when they were young and had returned home. Another Captain Hero, pure powerful story, and they're bebopping through time. There were dinosaurs and knights and stuff like that, and more typical Archie hijinks. And that is number 31, Archie Annual. Now we get it to some here. I have several volumes of Laugh Comics Digest, Archie's Laugh. And one thing I was noticing, go through, that these are a little different. Of course, they have some of the same old stories, but then they also have, this is interesting, this is Caramel. This is Little Betty's cat Caramel, and then it has the cat's adventurous life before she came to live with Betty. I thought that was interesting, how she was born feral and trapped in a freight car on a train and stuck in the snow and starving and trying to find a home until Betty found her. And she doesn't. And that was neat. Josie and the Pussycats. There's some Josie and the Pussycats in here. I have Madhouse Glads. A little bit wider variety. It has Sabrina stories and some of the Duck. Super Duck, who's not super. It's just a little bit more eclectic in its stories, and then also they have reprint some of the more adventurous stories in it. Josie and the Pussycats, Little Archie, Archie on a Date, Josie and the Pussycats, Wilbur, yeah, that's another one, Wilbur, and also that Wilkins boy. There was just past that, Katie Keene. It has an early Katie Keene story. And Katie Keene has some really nice artwork. And I lost it. And some really completely different stylization. Not your regular Archie stylization. And of course they had that very short-lived Katie Keene series as a spinoff from Riverdale. I watched a few episodes. A Man from Riverdale. I watched a few episodes of Katie Keene, and I just was not interested in it. More of the same then. There's another one, Laugh Number 9. These are from the 70s and early 80s. Little Super Duck and Spaceman. This looks like from the 40s. This little gag. Sabrina. I have more Sabrina stories in these. And I like the Sabrina stories. And a variety of things. It's just a little more eclectic in the Laugh comics, and they don't, in the Laugh digests, and they don't publish Laugh anymore. This one is Laugh 28. This looks like about 1983, I guess. 1980. Oh, 60s fashion. Oh, Planet Playmates, Chapter 3. This is that Martian guy from Cosmo. Cosmo the Martian from Madhouse. He pops up, and they have a story in here, I think, with little Archie. There's another Josie. In one of these, I saw a story of little Archie with aliens. It had nothing to do with Cosmo and stuff. Just a bit more eclectic, wider variety. So I really like these just because they're so much different, and a nice. Oh, I remember this in the Falcon's Claw. I had the full-size comic. This is Josie and the Pussycats, and it's their take on a horror story, more adventurous. I like those. Another Pure Heart the Powerful. They're fun. You wouldn't want them all the time like that, but they're fun for some once in a while. As a nice distraction from the what was the story I had tagged there. I wanted to take a look at. Oh yeah, Sabrina's story. I wanted to read that later. Aim to Please. I wanted to read that one later, and I got one in this one marked also that I want to read. What one's this one? Oh yeah, Josie and the Pussycats. The Hooded Howler of Haunted Hill. Another spooky adventure. Josie and the Pussycats. I remember Josie and the Pussycats. Somewhere I have a big collection, and there's a Super Teen. Super Teen always. Her costume was constantly changing. Different. Here it is, just like an imitation of Pure Heart the Powerful, except without the cape. And sometimes he didn't have the cape either. But the costume that she had that I liked best was the kind of the little sailor suit. I like that one the best. Bell bottoms and the like. And so. Yeah, I had the Josie and the Pussycats in their animated series. I liked that when I was a kid. And especially, a lot of people don't remember. They remember Josie and the Pussycats, but they don't remember Josie and the Pussycats in outer space. I like that, too. And another Laugh Digest. This is 20. Yeah, I tagged another Sabrina story. See that? Sabrina story with Della the Head Witch. Wow, that's quite an outfit Della's wearing. I've got another story tagged here. This is the Girl from Riverdale. Betty as a spy. That should be fun too. Goofy Duck. Yeah. I'll set those aside because I want to read those later. But just to give you another little look at some more of the Archie Digest comics I've still got several more, and I still have a bunch of DC Digest comics to show you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Nothing terribly important. Just some good, clean, wholesome, all-American fun. So thank you for joining me. And remember, to like, share, and subscribe. But also remember, comics are art.